Well, hello everybody. Denise here, the Crafty DIYer, and it is Tuesday afternoon, and that means we are doing Printable Tuesday. So every Tuesday I come on and we craft using printables from the Printable membership or the printables on my website. So if you are a Printable member, come on in, say hello, and cut out your papers. If you're not, still come on in, say hello. Everybody is welcomed here. And what I'm going to show you today is we're going to do some lamination. So I had a video, and I got a lot of questions about how to make a pouch or an envelope using a laminator. So I'm going to show you a way how to do it. I'm going to show you some tips and tricks, the difference between a matte laminating paper and a glossy, when to use matte and when not to use matte, and just some hints and tricks to make your laminating experience go a little easier. Okay, so as you guys are hopping on, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm just going to bring up the chat here. Bring up my chat so I can see you all. Make sure I am on. You're just hopping on. Come on in. Say hello. Oh, there we go. But I don't see any comments yet, so I'm hoping. There they are. Okay. This is just a little delay. Hey, Samantha, how are you? All right. So, yeah, laminating. I've got my laminator on beside me. I'm going to show you today, I'm going to show you how to make this envelope. And it is really super easy. There's a little trick to do this without having to glue it. Now, if you look at this, I did sew it. And we're going to get into why you may want to sew it and why you don't need to. There really are some variables to this. I like the look of the sewing. Okay, so that's what I did. I just sewed everything because I like that look. But I'm going to be able to show you this, and we're going to laminate it in a way that when it comes out of the laminator, this is going to be fused together. Okay, and then you can sew on here for just extra strength. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Like I said, I'll give you some hints and tricks. Okay, Samantha is in. Oh, hi. Oh, hello, Donna. Hey, Bella. Hey, Robin. Bella. I know your name is something else. Jennifer? I forget. Hey, Dolores. All right. Yeah, so I'm going to be using this printable here. But yeah, so this is, like I said, I like to make these so I can put my printables in. So for this one, this is this month's as well. So if you're watching this in the month of February, it's the last week of February. Thank goodness, right? This is the Le Pen Melody. So I took all the printables from that collection and I made this. So you can laminate. So this is like a big pouch. This is an envelope. And then I just made it even like just a smaller one. So you can get really creative with this. And what I like to do is store my stuff in here. So right now I've got some of the things that I've made from this printable. I've got some in here that I haven't made yet. So like I always say, cut your printables out. Once you have them, print them, cut them, and then just store them away for when you're ready to craft. Okay, that's the easiest way to be most efficient to make sure you're going to spend the time crafting. So I've got pieces in here that are ready to use. I make these for my sister. She likes, when she goes away, she likes to put them in her documents in a laminated pouch. So if you are an organizing person, I am not, my sister is, but if you are, these are another great way to really pretty up your laminating pouches. Okay. And as you can see, can you see the gloss difference? So this is a matte. So there actually is a matte laminating, and this is gloss. Okay. And you'll see that here, it just gives it a different shine. That's the same printable. Okay. So let's get started. Again, I'm going to go through all of these things with you as we go. Okay. Hello, Henna. Henna if you are watching from YouTube, so I'm streaming on YouTube and Facebook. If you are on YouTube, any trigger word, like if I say Amazon or whatever, those don't work in YouTube. So what I need you to do in YouTube is after the live, I go in and put it in the description. Okay, so just know that those trigger words don't work in YouTube. All right, but glad to see you here. All right. Hey, Edna. Let's get started, guys. So here is the printable. So we are using Madeline's Travel Folio Kit. And this is page 1, and this is a folio. Does everybody know what a folio is? If you don't, let me know, okay? And but basically, this is sort of like this. I'm going to take the folio printable and make an envelope, which is so easy to do, okay? So I printed this on cardstock. So when you're laminating, you do want to use cardstock. It's just stronger, 65-pound cardstock, okay? I printed it, and then I printed the other side. So this comes with the other collection called, this collection, the Le Lapin Melody, French for little rabbit. If you're in the membership, you already have this, but just to know that that's what I use. I mixed it. But you do want to print both sides, okay? Then you're going to cut it out, which I already did. And this is what it's going to look like when you cut it out. Let me move my paper out of the way. It's going to look like this. Okay. Let's try that again. That's what it's going to look like. So to do the envelope, what we want to do is cut this off. So we're going to cut this part off. Don't throw it out. We're going to use that in a bit. And then what I'm going to do is just fold this right in half, okay? Let me know in the comments, if you're new to lamination, or let me know if you have a laminator or if you wanted to try. Just let me know in the comments. The laminators are really inexpensive. Mine is called an Odiozac or something like that. You can find it on my Amazon shop. If you comment Amazon, if you're in Facebook, and the Amazon link, it'll send to your messenger, okay? So glad we're here. It's been a while since I've been able to catch you live. Oh, Charlene, I know, Charlene, I love you. Charlene, the broadcast doesn't, I didn't send a broadcast out. Oh my goodness. Whoa, hold on. Talk amongst yourselves for a second. Oh my God, I forgot to send out a broadcast. Oh, so speaking of Charlene it doesn't work in her area. And that happens. I don't know what it is, but sometimes the broadcast won't work for everybody. So hold on a second. I got to send my broadcast out. I cannot believe I just got going. Here we go. Do. There we go. I sent a broadcast. Okay. Whew. All right. Where were we? So the YouTube, that's automatic. That's on YouTube. They send that out. That's good to know. Okay, so Linda has one, hasn't used it. Okay, Linda, you're going to want to use it after this, okay? Don't be afraid. Who's afraid of a laminator? At first I thought laminators was all just for documents and stuff. No. I love my laminator. Great for bookmarks and everything. All right, so I folded this over. Okay, so this is the back, which is now going to be the inside. Now, if you look at this one here, so this is, see how this is cut out a bit? I didn't want it to go straight up because it'd be kind of hard to get into it. Plus, this looks so much prettier. So I'm going to show you how to create this without, and it's going to be even. It's going to be nicely even without having to measure. I'm going to show you. Because if I can find a way to do something without having to measure, I will do it. Just raise your hand if you're the same way. Hey, Kathy. Yeah, a lot of people have laminators. Okay, awesome. But heating element didn't work, waiting for a replacement. Okay. Well, that's a bummer. Samantha uses hers all the time. Awesome. Okay, so let me show you how to make this cut. So what I'm going to do, so this is going to be the piece that comes up, and then this is going to fold onto here, right? But what I want to do is I want to cut just this one piece, so just the front. So I'm going to unfold it, and then I'm going to take this, and here's the thing. Let me see if I can bring you in closer. There we go. What I don't, because I like to show you what to do and what not to do, because if you're a person like me, where if you tell me don't do it, I want to know why. I just need to know why. That's too, okay, let me see if I can do it this way. I think I can do it this way. Okay. If I do this and trace it out, when I go to fold this, we don't want our dip to be this big. So what you're going to do, this is even, right? I'm going to bring this up, and if you look, okay, see this dip here, this little dip, it goes dip, 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 dip. This is the amount, this is what I'm going to trace right here, okay? And it's going to be perfectly even if you make sure that this is lined up here and this is lined up here. So see how this is not quite lined up? So I'm going to just move it over. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you don't want it to be like really over, right? So I'm going to make sure this line here, this little dip is right on the paper. This, see how this dip is up right here? I'm just going to bring that down. Okay, this looks good. That looks good. And then I'm just going to trace it. Use a pencil. I mean, you can use a pen if you want, but okay, so now we're going to cut this piece out here. I use finger knuckle inches. Shelly says, Kathy, I got mine off of Amazon. If you comment Amazon and then check your messenger, I'll send a link over. It'll just automatic, okay? Or not, just search laminators. There's so many types of laminators, but some people want to know exactly the one I use, so it's there. Now, if you were watching me from Canada, I don't have a Canadian affiliate with Amazon. So what I want you to do is still go into Amazon. You're going to get the link from the top, because to me, it's not important. Honestly, I might make $10 a month. That's not what it's about. It's about you guys wanting to know what I have. So I just put it on there. Okay. So if you're in Canada, you're going to go into the link. You're going to be in the American one. Grab the hyperlink. So just grab the URL, take that, and then pop that into the Canadian Amazon. Okay. And then that way it's the same thing. All right. So now see how we've got two little pieces here? So we're going to, we don't need this anymore, but don't throw this out. We're gonna put them over the side because we might use them in something else. So now when I go to fold this, we've got a nice little, let me bring you back up. We got a nice little dip here. Okay. So then when this comes over here, it's not like this. It's going to cover it up nicely. All right. And it gives us room to put a Velcro on there to close it. All right. Now, before I go do anything more, I'm going to take my ink and I'm just going to go around and ink everything up. Let me do this. So again, you want to use 65-pound cardstock. If you use paper, I have found that even with the laminator, the laminating pouches, or whatever you call it, they call it pouches, it's not strong enough and it'll bend, okay? So this is the kind of thing you want to do with cardstock. I'm just going to go ahead. I'm actually going to round my corners. Oh, here we go. So see here, see how I've rounded my corners on my actual paper. So I'm just going to do that. Oh, Rosemary, I'm so sorry. Hopefully you recover quickly. Thank you, Tammy. Okay. And I think I'm going to leave this part because we're going to fold that. So I'm just only going to round my bottoms, all right? So you want to make sure that if you're going to add ink, you're going to add ink everywhere, and you can do the back too. And get creative. Use different printables on each side, right? If you're part of the printable membership, you'll find that all of the printables, like you get 5 every month, right? And they're all cohesive. You can actually mix and match really nicely. All right. From South Africa. Oh, hi, Sharon from South Africa. All right, so now what we're going to do, so we're going to laminate this. This is where you may not have seen this style, this kind of lamination. So we're going to laminate this closed. So we won't need glue. It's going to be laminated together, okay? That's the whole trick to this method. So I'm going to, I prefer matte laminating paper. You can get matte and you can get the traditional shiny, right? See that? So that's matte and that's the shiny. You may like one or the other. I want you to know though, the shiny is stronger than the matte. Okay? So if you are going to use this method, if you're going to use the matte, then I'm going to suggest you to sew it as well. Because what happens is, if you're using this over and over, right, you're putting stuff in here, right? So you're going to put some, you know, you're going to cut out all your printables or whatever's in here. This on a matte, this will start to pull away. I noticed it pulled away on the matte. On the glossy, it didn't. But I like the look of the sewing. So I just went ahead and sewed it. So it is not, even if it starts to lift from the lamination, it's not going to go anywhere. Okay. So it depends. Who has a little sewing machine? Honestly, guys, I use a $100 sewing machine and I don't sew. It's only for sewing on paper. Okay. All right. It's an important thing to know because I don't want you to do this thinking that you can use it and it's going to start to pop up. Okay. So that's the kind of things like when I say, if I tell you not to do something, I like to tell you why. And then you guys get to decide whether you listen to that or not, because you don't have to. I can, like, if someone says, don't do that, I'd be like, well, why? Why can't I do that? What will happen if I do that? I want to know. I'm just that kind of person, right? Okay, so with your laminator, if you've never done this before, this is your paper. So this is matte. And it comes in a folded sheet. So this is important. This is already attached. Okay. That's what we're going to enter into the machine first. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your folded paper and I'm going to slide it right up. Okay. It doesn't matter if this is perfectly even. As you can see, I've got more here than I do here. That's okay, because we're going to trim it. All right, so don't sweat over that. But that's, you just really want to make sure it's there and not this. You don't want this. I don't want you to look at it. Not like that. Okay, because yes, you could cut around that, but when you go to enter it into your laminator, it could cause some problems. And I'm going to show you what it looks like, but not right this second, okay? So let's take this piece, put this back in here. All right, get that in there. Now, this piece, remember we cut this piece off. And it's important to cut this off because we want it to fold. So we want it to fold like this. if I don't cut it off, it's just going to be hard to fold. You're going to now fold 65-pound paper plus the laminating paper. So I highly suggest you just cut that off. And then what you're going to do is now I'm going to do it this side. So this, when it's done, is going to fold over like that. Now you might want to do this way. That's okay. But I just want you to know that looks nice too. But just know that the piece that you want to see on the front of your laminator, or sorry, the front of your envelope is facing down. Okay. Now you're going to want to take this and we're going to line it up, and I'm just going to leave a smidgen. Like, let me bring you in here. I call it a smidgen. I don't know. What is it? 1/8 or something, but you can see, I can just get my fingernail in there. Okay. So when we go to fold it, it's better. Don't do that. Otherwise you're going to have a big seam at the top, and it's not a big deal if you do. It really isn't. Okay. But what I like to do is pop it in here. Now, a little trick. If you have some of this tape, okay, this is just the removable kind. I am going to tape this down, just this piece, because when I go to feed it into the laminator, it might shift. So I'm just going to take, and you won't see it. I'm just going to take a little, just a little bit. Don't be like working it on there. Just a little, okay? You're freaking hoping you are warm next door. Palmer, Alaska is colder. Oh, thanks, Jen. Well, I'm in Canada, so it's cold here. Is it easy to sew it on your sewing machine? Yeah. Marlo, it's easier to do it on the sewing machine, but if you have a strong needle, you could do it. You could hand sew it. I don't see why not. Okay, so I've got that there, and I'm going to line it up the best I can. Don't fret if it's not perfect. Nothing ever is perfect, okay? All right, so it's on there. So I'm going to hold this. I'm going to hold everything. I'm going to hold everything, and I'm going to close this. Okay, like that. Now at this point, you can take some, like this is now a waste. If I put this through, this is going to stick. So sometimes what I like to do, let me see what I have here. We could maybe laminate something else. Let's just laminate some stuff so we're not wasting it. Maybe I want to, you know, for other projects and whatnot, right? So I'll just stick that there. I've got that. I can make little dangles out of these. I don't know, does it have any? Oh, yeah, it does. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. Hold on. Some other things you might want to do are laminating some circles. That will do like closures for your folios. Okay, let me get that. Stick this in here. I'm just going to, if you're doing this for the first time, you may not want to do this extra step because, you know, like when you, like I said, when you lift it up, it might pop up. If these move, that's okay because we're going to cut around them. You just don't want this moving. What else do I have here? What else do I have? Oh, let's see. We could do, maybe I can laminate some of these. Okay, so these are from, this is this month's collection as well. This is a really great collection because you've got things like this that you can use throughout the year, right? You'll use these over and over again if you're like me. So I'm just going to pop those in there. Okay, just so I'm not wasting laminating paper. All right, so now I got it. Got my laminating papers. Let me get the laminator out. Hey, from Australia, Robin, from the YouTube. And Creative by Laura Lee is watching from YouTube. The dangles. I know the dangles. We're going to be making dangles in the new Junk Journal lab. I think the ladies are excited. We're going to be making, I'm going to show them how to do it. I'll tell you about that after if you want. Okay, so this is my laminator right here. Very, very small amount of space. It does not take any space up. I've got it heating, all right? So I'm going to gently move this out of the way. If I was not on a live, I would have everything kind of spread out a little bit, okay? So what you want to do, so I'm not going to worry about, if these move, I'm not going to worry about it, okay? But what I want to do is make sure that when I enter this into the machine, you want to make sure you're entering it evenly. If you enter it on a curve, I'll show you what happens. It can pull and you'll get wrinkles, okay? It can happen sometimes. So I'm just going to grab my paper here. So I've got my paper. See, my things fell out. I'm not going to worry about those, okay? I just want to make sure that you know how to do this. So I just took them out. So I've got this. I made sure that it's all in there evenly. So I've got it held like this, okay? So when I feed it, I want to make sure I'm not feeding it one side more. And it can be slight, guys, okay? And listen, it's not hard. I just want to make sure that I can kind of cover some of the things that might happen, right? But don't freak out if it does. You just do another one, okay? So I'm going to do, concentrate for a second. You'll feel it grab, and then it just starts to go. Okay. So I'm holding on to it until it grabs this part. So I can feel that it's in. I'm going to bring this up here so you can see it come out. Now you're also going to want an X-Acto knife for this method, okay? So you will need an X-Acto knife. But if you don't want to do this method, the next step, if you find it kind of hard, I'll show you, I can show you another way how to do this without laminating the pouch close together, right? So we're going to let that go through. There we go. And then I just lay it down. Okay, move this out of the way. It cools off fairly quick, so it's cooled off now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it out. Now, if you've laminated before, you know this, but there's many of you had never done this, okay? There is a line, and it's really hard to see on camera. Yeah, it's really hard to see on camera, but can you see? I wonder if I use... No, it doesn't help. It doesn't help. Maybe this one. Can you guys see the line? It's very faint. It's even hard for me to see. Okay, see that? Can you see this line right here? You don't want to cut into that. If you cut into that, whoa, that's really close. Let's put you back out. If you cut into that, it'll open. So don't do that. I'm just going to trim around this. So I'm just going to take this around, and then I'm going to go all the way around, keeping a little bit. Now, if you're going to sew around this for decoration, then this part doesn't really matter too much, because if you cut into it, it's okay, because you're going to sew it, right? You're going to enforce it with sewing. Like, I just like the look of the sewing on paper. I think it really looks really kind of cute and vintage. Okay, so cut that, right? And then we're going to cut here. But if you look at it, see how it's all fused? And you're like, Denise, how are we going to get anything in there? Hold on. It's going to be like magic. I'm going to curve this because these are very sharp, these corners. curve that around. Okay. All right. But you see, if I had things in here, I could have, you don't want to waste it, right? If you're doing it for the first time, don't worry about wasting a couple pieces, really. All right, so look, so now this is going to fold over, right? So we can take our little bone folder or whatever you have, a ruler, and we're going to, it does pop up because it's got the lamination on it. It's pretty strong, but I can't get in there, right? So, but the sides are fused. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your X-Acto knife, okay? Can you ink stamp extra laminated scraps to reuse? You would have to use archival ink and let it dry. And I don't know if it would eventually dry, but it would be, it's very glossy. Even though it's not glossy, I would test it. I would definitely test it out. All right, so I'm going to take my X-Acto knife. All right, let me bring it down here. And what I want to do is I want to separate this top page from this page, but only along here. Okay, so what I like to do, this one's going to be a little hard to grab. So I just move my X-Acto knife and just on an angle, just gently, very, very gently, pop a little hole in there. And then I'm just going to angle my laminate, or sorry, what do you call this? My X-Acto knife. And I'm just going to go across. Just want to make sure. There we go. You'll feel it. The first time you do it, it might look messy, but you'll feel it. You'll feel it sort of pop. Okay. And then I'm just go slow, and I'm just going to cut. I'm separating the top part to the bottom. Just like that. Okay. There. Now, when I get up to here, I'm still going to follow it along. Whoop. If it goes a little wonky, that's okay. But I'm going to stop right here. Okay. So then, because we started here, I want to open this up. So what I do, I just come back, just gently go around the corner. And again, guys, I would say probably the majority of the time this is going to work just fine. And don't worry about little tiny little pieces like, oh my God, it didn't go completely. It's okay. You just don't want to be pressing hard. All right. Okay, let me stop talking for a second so I can concentrate. I find this is harder to go this way than this way. I don't know why, but it is. There we go. There we go. Okay, so now we have a pouch, an envelope. Oh, wrong way. Let me put this back on here. So now it's attached. And like I say, because we've done it this way, we've laminated the sides together. So this works fine. You don't have to sew it. But what I'm going to say is I'm going to sew this, okay, after. My sewing machine's over there, and I can't get you guys to see the sewing, but I'm going to show you one that I have sewn. Because this is matte, I'm going to sew this. Because here's what's going to happen. See this part right here? This is the weakest part, right? As you're coming in here and you're putting your stuff in here and you're closing it and then you're opening it up and it's going to pull. And this is going to start to open. You can use the glossy, which is the normal laminating paper, and it is stronger. So I found it didn't pop up. So really kind of use your judgment on it. Depending on how often you're going to use it. And honestly, you know what I would do? I would just try it. And if you find that it's coming up, then you can hand sew it. I was thinking what Marley said. You could hand sew it, but to me, that would be too hard. And just run it through my machine. Okay. But that's pretty simple. And that's, and now we've got this beautiful laminated envelope, right? So what I would do to close this, we're going to keep it really simple. So I'm going to just press that. But if you see, it's always going to pop up. So the easiest thing to do is to use some Velcro. I don't know if these are on my Amazon shop. I don't know. But I did get these off of Amazon. I do have the container. This is so inexpensive, okay? I used to go to Michael's and bought a little container. Well, I don't remember how much this was, but I get like a ton. There's like 1,000 pieces, so there's 500. 500. So much cheaper. So if you're finding you're using these a lot, that's what it is right there. If you want to screenshot it or write it down, it might be on my Amazon. I'm not sure. I don't know for sure if I did or not. Sometimes I forget. All right. So that's what it is. And then I just take it out and I put them in a container. And I just pop that off. And I like them because they're round. I don't have to cut them. And they're super strong. Like they really hold this down. So we've got our top and our bottom, right? Yeah, you could try them, Patricia. I don't know how good the glue is going to be. So if you are using them from the dollar store, they might lift up. Like they may not stick to the lamination. Okay, so that's the other thing is gluing, laminating things can be a problem. So if they are, then try these, okay? So all I'm going to do is I'm going to have this closed. And I'm going to put it on here. I'm going to put this on here, not this one, because I might put that too low. So I'm just going to pop this right there, glue that on. So I still have this piece here. I haven't removed the backing. Okay. Hey, Judy. Thank you, Jody. Hey, Margie. All right, and then I'm just going to lift this up. Remove the backing, and then just close that. So I'll let that sit for a second before we open and close it. But basically, there is your envelope. I think that's pretty. Here's one that I did with the glossy. So you can see the gloss. Let me see if you can see the difference. There's the gloss. And you'll notice that the gloss brightens up the print. So you choose what you like. These papers are on the Amazon if you want to know the brand I use. Now this one, what I did was I took some of the other pieces from the collections from this month, and then I glued them on here first. So you can do that. Be careful. If it gets too thick, it'll get stuck in the laminator. And then if you get too thick, like this, let me show you. So see this bunny one I did? If you can see, it doesn't laminate. Let me turn my laminator off. It doesn't, there's like a little air pocket there, okay? Because there's a little bit of height to this. So just be careful. This is all paper that I just decorated before I laminated it, okay? But just know that you can't go too thick. It's an experiment. That's really the best way to do. Now, if you see this here, do you see this? See these wrinkles? Okay, so when I put this in the laminator, and listen, guys, it wasn't like it was like, I'm putting it this way in. It just caught. If you don't put it in nice and straight, it caught and it wrinkled. I'm fine with it. I'm still using it. It's just that it's got some wrinkles in it. Okay, and see there? You can see that wrinkle. I'll use that for something else. Any questions so far about the laminator? If you've asked a question while I was creating this and I didn't answer it, can you ask it again? Patricia likes the gloss. Yeah, it's nice. I will see if they work. If not, Amazon, here I come. I had trouble getting into the lab. Never did work. Stacy, are you talking about the lab week? If you have questions like I can't find something or something like that, do email us, okay? Let me pop an email in here. Email me, info@iwantToCraft. Here's the thing, guys. Sometimes if you message me through Messenger, craft, I don't see it, okay? info@iwantToCraft.com. If you message me through Messenger, I get hundreds of messages every day, and it just, when people are commenting on something, like sometimes the reels are going, they get like 150,000 views. Like there's a lot that can go through sometimes. So sometimes your message may get missed. So if you've messaged me and I haven't seen it or I haven't responded, it's because I haven't seen it. So then email us. Email is the best way to contact. I can't find something. I can't get in if you're in any of my memberships or anything like that, okay? Yes, Patricia, and give Carrie 24 hours to respond, okay? And of course, she's not there on the weekends. Hey, Michelle. Thank you, Penny. I like to tell you exactly everything, right? So there you go. Now, and then let's see, lift this up. Now, see this does happen, okay? So what happens is when we cut this piece is now loose. So what I do is I cut it off. You could glue this, but I find it just keeps coming up. So I just cut it off, guys. So I will just take the same thing, just run this sideways like that, like on horizontal. There we go. And it's done. Okay. So there you go. I love it. Now, this one here. So this is one that I did earlier, but I went ahead and I sewed around it. Just to strengthen this. Now, if you notice this one, I sewed all the way around it. Well, that's just because I like the look of it. I like the sewing look. Okay. But ultimately, the strongest is the gloss with the sewing. And then I just put a dangle on here. I just popped a hole. So now it looks pretty. So experiment with your laminator. They're a lot of fun. Oh, I haven't closed this one off yet. I actually am going to keep this one open. I'm going to work on a different style. But here I just added a little dangle that I made using printables. Okay. Now, let me show you. If you enjoy printables and you like our printables, we do have a special running for the printable membership. Let me show you. If you want to become a member, don't just ignore my background. Okay, it's a messy crafter's room. If you want something like here, you can look at that. That is it here. So we use the Madeleines. That's the top left-hand side there. You get all 5 of these, and your first month is 50% off. So you get all 5 of these for $7.50. So we talk US dollars, $7.50. And then after that, you go to on the first of the month. So every first of the month, you'll get the charge, like a renewal charge. The renewal will be $15. And then you can cancel anytime. But on the first, you're going to get 5 brand new collections. Okay. So if you like the designs, I encourage you and invite you to join because it's cheaper. If you go to buy just one of those right now off my website, it's $8. $8 for one. Now, if you buy 3, you get 25% off, which helps. That takes it down to $6. But if you were to buy all 5 of those, that's like $48. Well, $15 is a pretty darn good deal compared to 40, right? So it really depends on if you like printables or you like using it or if you want to try it. Again, you can cancel anytime. Sorry, my hand's flying around. You can cancel anytime. You just, you actually don't even have to tell us. It's right in your membership. So you'll get an email and you'll get, they'll be delivered to you through your email. So your process will go through. You get an email in there, you click it, and you just download the zip file. You double click it on your device and it opens up. If you decide to cancel, we'd hate to see you go, but we totally understand that sometimes things change. You just go into your membership again and you just hit the cancel button and it's all done. Okay, so we never have to know. Well, we know, we'd miss you. And then you come here on Tuesdays, and every Tuesday I create something with this month's printables. Printables, okay? So that's the special we got going. I don't know how long I'm going to have that going. But that's a pretty good deal, $7.50, okay? So there's that. I have to join. Yes, I'm going to, how neat, Patricia. Madeline's notebook. Yes, Margie, I actually had that scheduled for today and then I forgot. And I made a post about doing this. So I do have that and I'm going to make that into a video. So stay tuned this week. There will be a video for Madeline's notebook. Okay. Kathy is excited. And we also have the junk journal lab, which is sort of going on. So this is the last week to get all of these for that price. After that, it goes to the March collection. Okay, so if you want to get all of these, even if you like 2 or 3, it's worth it. All right. But we also have the junk journal lab. And oh, Kathy, you're in both. Okay. I thought you might be. The junk journal lab, if you've ever thought about doing junk journals, who has never heard of a junk journal? Or who has never made a junk journal? Let me get this off here. Let me show you this. So these are junk journals, and I love making them. And we just finished last week the Junk Journal Lab Week, where all the ladies learned how to do all the little things that go in to. So we made this right here. We made paper clips. That was all last week. And now they had an option to join the Junk Journal Lab, which is a monthly group, and you get 2 workshops a month. And you get a live workshop and a recorded workshop. My workshops sell for $25. The lab price is $19 right now because we are just starting out. You will become a founding member. And we like to call ourselves Lab Buddies. So if you join, Friday's the cutoff. If you join between now and Friday, you will become a Lab Buddy. You will get guaranteed $19. So this is the different membership, okay? This is not the printable membership. It's $19, and you get 2 workshops and a group to hang out in, ask questions. This is really about coming in. You can look at this as 2 ways. To make a junk journal, you just need to practice. You just need somebody to show you. And that's what I created with this monthly group. I do have courses, but I think you can just go buy a course, right? But this is actually cheaper in the long run, and you get more bang for your buck. And I like to do that. I like to make sure people, because I do. I like to get more bang for my buck, right? Who doesn't? But if you're like, well, I can't join a live. I work. Now, mind you, the lives are on Saturday, so I picked a day that most people can join. It's the first Saturday of the month. Nice and easy to remember. The recorded video is in between that. The payments go out on the 15th of the month, so it's different than the printable membership. But the printable membership, you don't need the printable membership. You can use papers of your own. If you've got a stack of scrapbook paper, you're free to use all of that. It's not about, I'm going to give you this and then you're going to exactly do what I do. This is about you learning to create in your own style, but with guidance from me, okay? Because you need ideas, right? When you're learning something, you just kind of, you need the ideas, and then you're free to change that as if you wish, or do the exact same thing. A lot of the ladies are in both, so they do complement each other, okay? But when we open the doors again, the $19 price may be different, because as we grow, we're going to get more content in there. All right. So say 3, 4, 5, 6 months from now, we're going to have a lot more workshops in there. So the price is going to go up. Okay. You're guaranteed. So it'll never go up. So if you want to know about the Junk Journal Lab, then comment the word lab, LAB, and I'll send you a link. If you want to know about the printable membership, the actual printables that you get, just comment PM. Okay. Also too, so you don't get printables in the Junk Journal Lab. It's not like you're getting monthly printables. You're going to use papers of your own. But if you join this week, there's a bonus 14 pages. 14, I think. I think there's 14. 14 printables that we're going to start, and you also get the bonus class of this Saturday. So by this Saturday, we would be starting our workshop, okay? All the information is going to be there. You can go back and watch it whenever you want. If you're a late crafter, like when I was in my early days, when I was much younger, I used to craft at night. I'd work in the day and I'd craft till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I still do that, but then I'm tired. I had more energy when I was younger. You could literally go into the lab that I want you to see it as a resource and go, yeah, that's what I want to see. What did she do there? And you click that and you play it, you watch, you stop it, you create. Okay. Linda says the printables are awesome. Thank you. Bella says, I'm a lab buddy. Just sent the info to your messenger. Oh, that's me. You can also just go to iwanttocraft.com. Sometimes if you miss it in the messenger, just go to iwanttocraft.com. Okay. And you'll have to search around for it. That's all. You just have to look at the top. But if you like the messenger and the direct link, then just pop the word in there. I want to craft.com. Not info. I want to craft.com. Okay, there we go. Now, if you're watching me on YouTube, if you're watching from YouTube, those links don't work. If you put lab and all of that, that won't work. After this live, I go in, once it's recorded up, I will put the links below, or just go to iwanttocraft.com. Okay. But if you use those words, they don't work in YouTube. All right. So that's it today. I hope you enjoyed our laminating craft. It was fun. Do check it out. There's more information on the pages for both of the memberships. Okay. If you go into my website, at the top, you'll see printable membership, and then you'll see Junk Journal Lab. Click those. You'll get all the information, because I probably left something out. And if it sounds right for you, then I'd love to have you over there. Okay. Until then, I will be on again later this week, going over a little bit more about the lab. I will have another video for the other printable this month, so that is coming up. If I don't get to it this week, I will get to it next week. So you'll either get, like on Tuesdays, me here or video. Okay. Thank you. Now I may use my awesome, Linda. That's what I like to hear. Yes, Stacy, you can. You can laminate anything, for sure. But Stacy wants to know if you can laminate journal covers. Yeah. Yeah, email me, Patricia, if you need help, okay? Just always email. All right, guys. Have an awesome afternoon. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll catch you later. All right, guys. Bye.